So what is the sixth system? Breathing system. Or it can be also called as respiratory system. So breathing or respiratory. So breathing system. So this is the sixth one. So children, what is breathing? Already you have learnt about in previous classes that every living organism, that means plants, animals, all the living organisms needs oxygen for their survival. So that's why they will breathe air for their survival. So if they do not breathe air, they will be dead. So that's why every living organisms needs oxygen for their survival. But different animals will breathe through different organs. So all the living animals or all living organisms does not breathe with the same type of organs. For example, most of the animals, that means most of the animals and all the human beings will breathe air with the help of the nose. So the important part of the breathing system is nose. And what is the second part is lungs. So children, so these are the main parts in the breathing system. So nose, and also there is another part which is called windpipe. So windpipe, and the third one is lungs. Children, these are the three parts present in breathing system. So the first one is nose. So all the living organisms, that means most of the animals, including human beings, will breathe air with the help of their nose. So, but whereas some animals like fishes does not have nose. They will breathe through their special organs called gills. And some animals like frog and earthworm will breathe air through their skin. So in this way, different animals will breathe through different organs. So most of the animals and including human beings breathe oxygen through their nose. So here the nose contains some small hair-like structures. So these hairs present in the nose will trap the dust and the germs present in the air. So children, so we will breathe air with the help of our nose, and the nose will have hairs. So what are the functions of the hair? So those hair which are present in our nose will trap the dust. So our air contains so many dust and germs. So if the dust and germs go directly into our body, it will cause us a lot of diseases. So that's why, so our nose contains some hairs. So the hair present in the nose will trap the dust and germs present in our body. That means the hairs act as like purifiers. So the hair present in the nose acts as a purifiers. They will purify the air coming into our lungs. Next, from the nose, the breathed air, the inhaled air will reach the lungs through the windpipe. So from the nose, so where does the air goes? So from the nose, the inhaled air will goes into the lungs through the windpipe. So there are two types of pipes in our body. So for the first one is food pipe, already discussed in our digestive system. And what is the second pipe? The second pipe is windpipe. So this windpipe helps in carrying the oxygen from the nose into the lungs. Then the air will enter into the lungs. In the lungs, it will absorb the oxygen present in the air and it will send that oxygen to the blood. So what does lungs do? The lungs will absorb oxygen from the inhaled air. The air contains so many gases: oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, helium. So air contains so many gases, but our body requires only one gas, that is oxygen. So children, what is this? Oxygen. This is a gas which is required to every living being for its survival. So that's why when the air is inhaled or when the air is entered into lungs, the lungs will absorb the oxygen present in the air, and the absorbed oxygen will be sent to the blood. The blood will absorb the oxygen present in the lungs and carry that oxygen to every part, to every body cell of our body. So in the presence of this oxygen and food, they will produce energy. So oxygen should require to burn the food. So children, every body part get energy. How the body part gets energy? So with the help of the food and the oxygen. So what does oxygen do? Here the oxygen burns the food, and then there will be released some energy. And those energy will be helpful to every part of our body. So by using that energy only, it will do so many activities. So during the process of burning food, another gas also will be released. That another gas which is released during burning of the food is carbon dioxide. So children, what is that gas? So carbon dioxide. So this is also another gas. So this is the name of another gas, that is carbon dioxide. This gas will also be present in our air. So during the process of burning food by using oxygen, a gas named carbon dioxide will be released at each cell inside our body. And this is a waste gas, and this gas does not require to our human body. So that's why the blood again carries away this carbon dioxide to the lungs. So children, do you understand? Here lungs sends the oxygen to the blood, and blood again carries away the carbon dioxide to the lungs. So from lungs, the carbon dioxide will reach its nose to the windpipe, and finally the carbon dioxide will come out from our nose. So that means we will breathe in oxygen, we will breathe out carbon dioxide. So this is the breathing system, children. So in this way, we can breathe in and breathe out. We will breathe in oxygen, we will breathe out carbon dioxide. So here, carbon dioxide is a waste gas which is produced inside our body at each cell during the process of burning food by using oxygen. So this is about breathing system. Now let us go to next system in this or in our body. Children, the next system is reproductive system. Reproductive system. Reproductive system, children. Do you know what is about reproduction? Already we have learned in previous classes, that is in 4th class and 3rd class. You have learned what is reproduction. So every living organism, all living organisms like plants and animals will give birth to new babies which are looking similar to them. So all living beings gave birth. All living beings gave birth, or they produce a younger ones or small babies which are looking similar to each other, which are looking similar to their parents. So this process of producing or this process of giving birth to the babies which are looking similar to their parents is called reproduction. So children, do you understand what is reproduction? So reproduction means the process of giving birth to the small babies which are looking similar to their parents. Children, so your parents gave birth to you. Your parents gave birth to you and you are looking similar in some way to your parents. So this process of producing new babies or small babies which are looking similar to their parents is called reproduction. So all living organisms, each and every living organism will able to reproduce their babies. Because of this reproduction only, they are continued to live on this earth, and they are able to continue their race without become extinct. So if there is no reproduction, or if the living organisms does not give birth to their new babies, then their race will be ends and they does not continue to live on this earth and their race will become extinct. So all living organisms will reproduce their younger ones and those will reproduce their younger ones in the same way. They will multiple their numbers and they will remain on this earth for so many years. So as to prevent from the extinct. So now, but children, so different organs will reproduce, different animals will reproduce through different ways. All the animals, all the living organisms does not reproduce in a similar way. So for example, if you take some animals, like cats and dogs, cows and tigers, lions, examples. So for example, if you take cats, dogs, cows, tigers, so all these animals give birth directly to the babies. So they give birth directly to the babies. So but whereas some animals like fish and some birds and if you take snakes, some snakes, especially if you take some snakes, so these animals will produce eggs and they will hatch these eggs and after some days these eggs will produce babies. So in this way children, all the living organisms does not reproduce in the similar way. Some animals give birth directly to the babies and some animals produce eggs, that means they will lay eggs and they will hatch the eggs. After some days, the eggs will converted into babies. For example, if you take a hen, so some of people will grow hens in our houses. Those hens will lay eggs and they will hatch the eggs and after some days, the eggs will reproduce smaller babies. So this is about reproduction and because of this reproduction only, every species and every race of the animals are continue to living in this the earth from ancient times. So if there is no reproduction, then they does not continue to live on the earth and they will become extinct. So this is about reproductive system. So next, go to another system, that is excretory system. So children, so what is the last system? Excretory system. Excretory system.